Hi again, John Whitehead here. I'm an executive and leadership coach, and I work with senior and emerging leaders in organizations. And welcome to my ongoing series on Marshall Goldsmith's book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There, and his 20 Habits to Keep You from the Top. And I'm excited about this week because this week for me is the big one. It's the one that I run into a lot when I'm working with leaders in organizations. Most leaders in organizations, they're there because they have reached a height in their careers. Usually because they've been able to perform, they've gotten results. They've led successful teams, they've worked their way up the organization. For example, myself, when I started as a young teenager, my first management job started with me working in the stockroom. I was hired to work in the stockroom. And then I had the opportunity to be thrown on the sales floor at one point, and people noticed that I did fairly well at that. And I was asked to join the sales team, and then it went from there, where I eventually was managing a store. So people go up the ranks because they show results. But one of the things that these folks have a challenge with is what Marshall's 16th habit of the 20 habits that keep you from the top. And that's not listening. Often leaders are so driven, they're just looking for those results, they're looking for that end target, and they go for it. And they don't listen. In my work as a leadership coach, a majority of my time is spent with these leaders, helping them to learn how to slow down and listen more, to slow down and listen more. And I've written a number of blogs on this subject alone. But it's come up now in the 20 habits as number 16. And Marshall makes a comment about what is the message. He talks about what is the message we're giving when we're not listening. And he lists a few. One is, I don't care about you. This is a message that we're sending. Another might be, I don't understand you. The third one is, you're wrong. The fourth one is, you're stupid. The fifth one, you're wasting my time. And the sixth is all of the above. It could be all of those above. So again, often in these blogs, I've asked you to reflect on a leader that you had in your own life, a manager, a supervisor that you reported to. And if you ever had that situation where you went in to talk to them and they kind of dismissed you, their eyes were down on what they were focused on, and they sort of dismissed you. Or they go, oh yeah, fine, we'll take a look at that later. Or something we've talked about earlier on in this series, they say, yeah, but you know, what if, right? They deflect it, send it on. They're not listening. So listening is important. And here's the key to listening as far as I'm concerned, and that is slowing down. Slowing down, slowing yourself down to listen more. And I have what I call my pause question. And I learned this years ago in sales, in a different context when you're trying to close a sale. But it works so well in these situations as well. If you have a conversation with somebody, and they're just going a mile a minute, just stop and say, you know, Bill, when you said X, Y, Z, I'm not sure I knew exactly what you mean. Can you say a little bit more? Or Fred, when you said ABC, I'm not sure if I really understood that. Could you explain a little bit more? Right? What does that do? It stops the conversation. It forces them to slow down and rethink their question. I call it my pause question because it does. It throws in something just to slow the conversation down. Sometimes you have to force the other person to slow down. What about you, though? Are you one of those individuals that, you know, get so focused on stuff you just forget to listen? People walk into your office door and you sort of dismiss them. What is the message you're sending them? So listening is really an important habit that pretty well all of us have to improve. All of us have to improve. And I'll put my hand up. that is something that I've been working on for years. But when you can grab a hold of that, and by the way, it doesn't happen overnight, it's a process. I've talked in the past about the process I put my clients through, and this is one of those processes. That over time, you will learn that new habit of slowing yourself down and listening. So not listening. That's one of the 20 habits. If you want to learn more about that, are you wondering, well, you hear yourself in that, you've listened to me, and you've heard yourself in that, and you'd like to find out more about it, reach out to me and let's have a conversation. I'm happy to have a 30-minute complimentary conversation, no strings attached, where we can talk about these things, and maybe I can give you some ideas or suggestions. You will walk away with something. I'm sure of it. So at the end of this video, my email address is there. Feel free to reach out. And also remember to sign up for this blog post so you get a notice every time I post one. And if you do that, I'm more than happy to send you a free copy of my ebook, What Got You Here? My free book, What Are These Things Called Soft Skills? What are those things called soft skills? So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.